Hi, sister. A loud call of sister-in-law echoed. He's totally lost with her. Colleagues instantly cast jealous glances. Being accused of heinous crimes, learning sister had come, the guard panicked. He quickly apologized for his rudeness. To fix his mistake, he rushed to the cell to deliver the news. Upon hearing he would soon meet his wife, Chang-ho instantly got busy. In the large bath, he stretched and prepared to. He cleaned himself bright and soft. This move made those near him, his guys, envious. Styling a sharp haircut, his subordinates had neatly prepared 4 outfits. As his crew cheered, Chang-ho swaggered into the dining hall. Yumi never imagined that this little nobody. She surprisingly thrived after her husband's jail. Years ago, the sweet-looking Yumi was a famous school beauty. With numerous admirers, Chang-ho was indeed one of those admirers. He planned to shine at the sports meet with his best. Yumi was to excel in pole vaulting. Unexpectedly, she broke the pole. Despite that, Yumi bravely chose Chang-ho. But after marriage, Yumi had to provide her slacker husband financially. Though Chang-ho loved her dearly and lied, his legal career had made no progress. All household expenses relied on Yumi. In hopes of achieving success soon to provide Yumi a happy life, Chang-ho had some unethical plans. He even bribed a judge in a case. He aimed to turn his fortunes with this bribe. But at court, he found a new judge. The corrupt judge had run off with the bride. Angered, the deceived crowd surrounded Chang-ho to beat him. Luckily, he escaped by using others' luck. Though he kept his life, the money Chang-ho used for bribery was from mortgage on their house. Soon, the prosecutor traced and seized all of Chang-ho's moment. Chang-ho received a call from the mayor. The mayor said there was a tricky case for him. With high hopes, Chang-ho drove to a desolate area. The mayor was lazily fishing. Chang-ho intended to introduce himself, but the mayor already knew all about him. He found out he was a bad lawyer. What Chang-ho was handed was the recent uproar surrounding the case of 3 professors murdering. All 3 were supporters of the mayor. So they asked the mayor to find a fool, yet obedient proxy lawyer. The script was all written out. As long as Chang-ho followed the script, it would be fine. Facing this insult to his smarts, Chang-ho decisively chose to refuse. But the mayor handed Chang-ho another bag of cash. He needed Chang-ho as a double agent to find the truth about the murder. If he got proof, he'd escape their grip. Thinking of leaning on the mayor's power, Chang-ho decisively agreed to this deal. The next morning, Chang-ho eagerly arrived at the prison holding the 3 professors. Before his arrival, the pathetic lawyer with less than a 10 win rate had already sent his information to the 3. Chang-ho jumped in, showing resolve to perform his role in the lines well. His flattery left the 3 quite pleased. But as he left while they were watching, Chang-ho secretly placed a cup with a butt into the trash bin. Indeed, he caught some top-secret info. The dashcam footage of the trio's crime that night in the hands of one of their wives. Soon, Chang-ho informed the mayor of this information. The mayor rushed to the scene, but he was still a step late. Busting through the locked door, the woman lay unconscious. Luckily, she was safe. When told Chang-ho and his friend might ask for the dashcam footage, the woman instantly became tense. Luckily, Chang-ho knew the law by heart. When told that hiding murder evidence meant at least 3 years, the woman chose to give up the dashcam. At that moment, the mayor had urgent matters to address. He then ordered Chang-ho to go alone. Chang-ho successfully obtained the dashcam footage from that night. The video showed 3 working as one. After the killing, they shoved the body in the trunk, and they were guided by none other than Tycoon Tongjun. He began to dig into Tycoon info. A tycoon holding trillions in assets, his property spanned 2 whole streets. A night out cost enough for a commoner's lifetime would be nothing. Thinking of this, Chang-ho felt restless. Take a risky gamble to blackmail the tycoon. Following the butler through the tycoon's vast mansion, Chang-ho was strategizing his plan. The groggy tycoon cast a sidelong glance at the intruder. Before Chang-ho could finish his blackmail scheme, the tycoon impatiently tore up Chang-ho's business card. Clearly, such lowbrow tactics would pose any threat to the tycoon. Thus, after putting on a tough front, Chang-ho had to leave dejected. To celebrate his upcoming success early, Chang-ho took his beloved wife to a fancy restaurant. Yumi was about to scold her husband's extravagance when Chang-ho silenced her with a tender cut of beef. As expected, the tycoon called to invite him again. As he left, the waiter eagerly handed him coffee, but he just took a sip of the coffee. Chang-ho began to hallucinate. The speeding car suddenly lost control. After a series of intense flips and collisions, Chang-ho lay in a pool of blood. Then he was taken to the hospital. Was only slightly injured, but when he anxiously wanted to retrieve the car's dashcam, a bunch of cops stormed in and arrested him for using powder. Faced with the sudden turn of events, everyone was stunned right there. With his suit, the police deployed thousands but found nothing, and the police found at Chang-ho's law firm. Thus, the genius fraudster Big Rat was. He was imprisoned in South Korea's most brutal jail. The three traitors who killed, ropes tied around their necks, they decided to make Chang-ho dead. Lebet News World reports click shock because Big Rat took 100 billion from him. Soon, the warden received a call from a major tycoon. I want my money back, so he can't die. The warden rushed in with deaths. Finally, after shock, Chang-ho, barely alive, recovered. A fancy seafood feast set before Chang-ho. Egot, these are all prepared for you. He even lowered himself to Chang-ho's level. He traced the tree to find him. This caught Chang-ho off guard. But when Chang-ho said he wasn't Big Rat, he was instantly met with a brutal backlash. It turned out the warden praised Big Rat, the 100 billion he took from the tycoon. Thus, the incompetent lawyer found himself in jail. On television, Megan conveyed a message to Chang-ho through the media. She told him she firmly believed her husband was innocent. She would spare no effort to clear his name. But the continuous setbacks left Chang-ho feeling down. With the crimes committed by Big Rat, he likely spent his life in prison. The dark days led Chang-ho to prepare to leave. Then, a farewell note to end it all. But the man next day warned him if his suicide failed, he would live life with a disability. It's best to leave it to fate, as kindly advised. Wiping his tears, Chang-ho suddenly got an idea. The prison is full of evil. They are either robbers or murderers. Wouldn't it be too easy for them to kill him? He quickly began to take action. The guy next to him said someone had hit him. Was the bald man, the gang leader. In a shooting, he killed 6 people. He even split someone's head open with an axe. Before he finished speaking, Chang-ho rushed forward with a tray. He dumped all the leftover food, soup and all, onto the bald man. The crowd instantly erupted. Seeing the bald man unfazed, Chang-ho executed an even bolder move. This surely infuriated him, but what no one expected was the old man wasn't as fierce as rumored. A heavy punch unexpectedly knocked him to the ground. Chang-ho was a bit stunned. For a moment, he wondered if his punch was strong or if the bald man was just weak. Thus, the suicide plan completely failed, and he soon set his sights on another freak. It said this man targets married men. He's a serial killer with 9 victims. He even bit off his cellmate's ear and chewed it like gum before swallowing. With excitement, Chang-ho approached the guy, and he began to provoke him intensely. The guy indeed didn't disappoint him. A sharp knife was slowly drawn out, but he hesitated to strike. This made Chang-ho anxious. He surprisingly insulted the guy's mom. Heard Chang-ho curse his mom. The guy unexpectedly dropped to the ground crying. Chang-ho was instantly stunned. At that moment, Chang-ho heard 2 in the prison. Word spread quietly about the incident. I shouldn't have provoked this freak. I brought up his mom. The freak became even more unhinged after being attacked, and the gang leader kept touching his injured head. His arrogance vanished instantly. The crowd gathered as Chang-ho reached the cafeteria. Even the server, afraid, gave him extra meat. Since the criminals couldn't kill him, he soon thought of the prison warden. Killing himself can only be entrusted to him. On a dark and windy night, Chang-ho brazenly started his escape. Soon, alarms rang out around the prison. In the center of the yard, Chang-ho waved a club. He shouted for the guards to shoot him quickly. Just as the sharpshooter was about to shoot, the warden realized the one risking it all was Chang-ho. The tycoon's warnings echoed in his mind. He quickly ordered to stop shooting at Chang-ho. The warden kept covering for Chang-ho. This angered the 3 suspects. They chose to secretly take out Chang-ho. Only then could their murder evidence stay hidden, and the warden would reap a hefty reward for this. Soon, with the warden's tacit approval, Chang-ho found himself in deep crisis. The hired assassin seemed possessed, relentlessly attacking Chang-ho. Hot blood dripped onto Chang-ho's face and into his eyes. Chang-ho fought fiercely against the man's knife. Just as he was about to succumb, a guard finally arrived, knocking the man out. Because they feared Chang-ho was the true Big Rat, the warden ultimately saved Chang-ho at the last moment. To test Chang-ho's true identity, the warden chose to stop being merciful. He even threatened the lives of Chang-ho's wife and family. Thinking of his wife who never had a good day with him, Chang-ho felt an inferno of rage within. Little did he know, the warden feared not Chang-ho's threats. He even mocked him, asking what he is. In that moment, Chang-ho saw he must grow stronger. Only as the Big Rat could he guard his family. Chang-ho's gaze suddenly turned fiercely intense. I'm the real Big Rat, you fool. His piercing gaze made the warden shudder, but in the end, the warden ruled the prison. Arrogant Chang-ho was assigned to clean the sewage pit. The nauseating smell could suffocate anyone, but the meals they got were just watery slop. To solidify his identity as the Big Rat, Chang-ho seized the moment, took the cart, and dashed out with everyone. The inmates worked together, following Chang-ho with their buckets. Chang-ho showed no fear. He grabbed a bucket of waste and splashed it out. The explosive scene quickly drew everyone's attention. Seeing the guards swarm backing down, Chang-ho grew even more aggressive. He splashed an entire bucket of filth onto the guards. The guards quickly requested backup, but Chang-ho unleashed a torrent of filth all around. Just as tensions peaked between them, the warden appeared at the scene with 3 tycoons. Chang-ho knew in that moment he had to show his resolve. He needed to look strong and unafraid. This was the way to prove he was the big rat. He threw down the scoop and approached the warden. Damn it! I warned you, didn't I? The big rat's qualities indeed make men wary. We want real food, not dog food. In the end, Chang-ho was the one who laughed last. Finally, everyone had a proper meal, and Chang-ho won over a huge number of fans. Hearing Chang-ho admit he was the big rat himself, this surprised the big tycoon. He gave a 3-day limit for Chang-ho to name the big rat, list of 5 people involved in drug deals. Luckily, Chang-ho was wiser this time. He cleverly said that while he sold drugs, he never betrays his clients. Yet the tycoon had no patience. He gave him 1 week to present the list. If he couldn't say it, it would imply he's not the big rat. Chang-ho was driven to the edge. In a moment of need, he risked and knocked out the guard in the blind spot to grab the phone. He asked the mayor, the only one who could help. Chang-ho has finally figured it all out. The one who turned him into the big rat wasn't the tycoon after him, but the real big rat, because the true big rat stole from the tycoon 100 billion and can't resolve it. So he pushed the innocent Chang-ho out as a scapegoat. The mayor reached out to Chang-ho's wife. He gave her the list obtained from the tycoon. She handed it over to Yumi. Yet the mayor didn't expect that. That list was actually forged by the tycoons. The reason the tycoons did this was just to see what the mayor would do with the list. If Chang-ho reveals the list, it shows the mayor and the worst, the biggest rat were in cahoots. Both the mayor and Chang-ho are doomed. 2 birds with 1 stone. Soon, whether Chang-ho can present the list will become the gambling stakes in prison. Each beautifully crafted card represented a bet worth 100, close to 100 million chips sold out fast. For this, 3 tycoons made a deal with Chang-ho, signing a wager of 3 billion. Soon, the agreed day arrived, but at this moment, the mayor heard the desperate news. The trading list in his hand was fake. In a flash, the mayor's heart sank, fearing his political career was doomed. He urgently tried various ways to contact Chang-ho. However, nobody answered. Meanwhile, Chang-ho was about to submit the list just out of his cell. All the inmates anxiously waited at the door. Some kind-hearted younger brothers even cheered to boost Chang-ho's morale. Chang-ho instantly felt energized. Every step he took was firm and confident. By the time the mayor arrived at the prison, it was too late. Under the warden's eye, the tycoon made his case. He wrote down a list of 5 people's deals. Then, Chang-ho calmly wrote his own list. The list was exactly like the tycoon's. Chang-ho even pointed out a mistake by the tycoon. There was a misspelling of an English name. This confirmed Chang-ho's identity as the big rat. The mayor was stunned by the sudden turn of events. He couldn't help but question Chang-ho's true identity. This gamble easily earned Chang-ho 300 million, yet he exchanged all that money for a VIP identity. Soon, the mayor arranged a private meeting with Chang-ho's wife. Unyielding, he chose to send Yumi in as a nurse to uncover the truth in the prison. Led by the warning team, Yumi arrived at the basement. Inside, it resembled a wealthy private bar. Seeing her well-groomed husband, Yumi, who had always trusted him, couldn't help but feel suspicious. Looking into Yumi's questioning gaze, Chang-ho took Yumi to an open playground. He told Yumi all his adventures. Then he was hit and fell down. When he woke up, only his cellmate was by his side.